Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read, but today we're going to talk about writing. This is the start of my next writing vlog. I'm doing from 40,000 to 50,000 words. Was not motivated to get started, but I put on my big girl pants and was like, well, you want to write this book, so get going. Usually from there, the motivation and the enjoyment comes, but it just did not at all. I did 20 minutes and I gave up. Went into bed to read a book and I was just trying to think about the scene and why it wasn't working. I'm missing the purpose. The next scene also was a bit slow because I had already written a really similar one prior. I'm going to mesh those two scenes together now. And then I'm at the midpoint, which is crazy. Oh my goddess. I was also thinking about chapter cliffhangers. I was in the mindset of how can I end every chapter on a cliffhanger? And what I've learned is that I don't have to always end them on jaw-dropping cliffhangers. That's not always good. It can lose the impact. It can feel really jarring for the readers. I've done a bit of Googling, so I'll put in the Reddit advice. The fact that I have thought about these things so far makes me really excited because it makes me feel like I am improving my craft as a writer. I'm just blown away with what I've written. I'm gonna go now. Hey guys, super quick, my phone is about to die. I just wrote the scene that I was least looking forward to and it actually turned out so much better than I expected. Yay. Now I'm up to the midpoint, which is so exciting, but the start is a little bit scary because the main character, Claire, she's discovering some information in an old book. I want it to be in language that makes it seem like it's old. I don't know how they used to say things. I'm going to go back and look at some older medical textbooks and see how they worded things and hopefully copy that style. And then I get to do the really crazy parts of the midpoint. Scary. I wrote the midpoint and that was so exciting. It was fun to write, scary, fun. It was like I was at a high from that crazy scene that the next one was just not working. I have had 10 days off. I mainly did some genealogy research. I did feel like writing yesterday and I got back to it. Was not happy with what I'd written, rewrote it again, and then today I still had that sense that it needed to be rewritten yet again a third time, and I think I finally worked out how to get it to be good. So as usual, I wasn't putting in enough description. That's why it was feeling boring and lackluster. On this third rewrite, I was really trying hard to add in description. I was like, just stop writing words, just close your eyes, visualize, where is Claire, what's going on. I actually pictured it in my head, this is what it looks like. I was still going really slowly, which was super ironic because it was a scene where Claire was racing to go do something. It didn't get into the flow at all, only towards the very end as I reread what I'd written, but it was still just not working and I was adding description that wasn't important and I was really trying to think, why does it matter? What I was describing that felt like I had no purpose to it is the color of the bricks outside Harley's apartment. I kept talking about the red, orange and brown clay bricks and it's like they are so many words. But does this matter? And that's something that my alpha reader picked up on very basically because she knew that she was alpha reading, but she just said, I tend to focus too heavily on stuff that doesn't matter. And your description should always do something for the story. It's better, but it's still not working. I'm just gonna get up and go. And I decided to clean the bathroom. Macy decided today to have a really long nap. I got the whole bathroom cleaned while he was asleep, plus an hour of writing. As soon as I got up to clean the bathroom, I'm literally a minute into cleaning the vanity and it just snapped into my brain. These bricks that he has at his house, same style of bricks, will be the house that her brother and his girlfriend at the time, wife now, but girlfriend moved into, their first home together, and Claire was there, and that was representing to Claire that she might be able to find a home one day and happiness one day and someone to love and to just build up that family life that she's never really felt like she's had. I'm actually going to read out what I came up with because I'm really excited about it. I'll be back. I literally wrote it on my phone, but because of Apple technology, it will have synced up to my computer by now. Claire stared achingly at Harley's townhouse. The red, orange, and brown clay bricks reminded her of Griffin and Gwen's first place together. Their excitement at starting their lives together had filled Claire with hope. Hope for the future she dared to dream about, because it hadn't just been the death of her mother and niece that had ripped the sanctuary of life away. It had been her whole childhood. It had been living in a place with heaps of other children crying out for their parents, missing their homes, wanting desperately to be somewhere they belonged, instead of the cold, stoic environment of Raiden where they were forced to hide their true feelings.
Hi, hello everybody. I've just had a super fun brainstorming session with Daniel. I was thinking about chapter headers because rock is really hard, because my ideal thing would be to have a rock or some kind of earth symbol, because this book is called The Earth Wielder's Courage, and then I'm going to do other books that have got the other elements in their titles, and then I could change the chapter header for each book. And then that led me to thinking about the logo of the school. He's just gone and sketched this logo, which is the coolest thing ever. He doesn't draw often, but it's actually so good. I'm like, there's a hidden talent there that you don't know about. I wasn't going to talk about my medical stuff that's going on because I didn't think it was relevant, but I think it's going to be. I've got gallstones that are on the move. I've had 2 hospitalizations and I'm getting my gallbladder out on Monday. I'm hoping that while I'm recovering, I might write a bit and potentially even finish the book. I don't know, but there's 6 weeks that I'm going to be recovering. It just depends on how I feel. I've got no idea. It's only keyhole, so it's not open surgery, but I've just got no idea how I'm going to feel and how long it's going to take for me to even be able to do basic chores. Anyways, I'm going to go. I need to eat. Got 45 minutes before daycare pickup. It's Halloween, by the way.
I have written twice for the first time post gallbladder removal. Once was on my phone. I could not get comfortable elsewhere with my computer and constantly typing. My word count that I'm up to now is 45,046. Hi! I'm going to pick up Miley Moo from daycare. I just did a writing session. I haven't really written much since the gallbladder surgery. I'm going to try and get back to it more regularly. I don't think I'm going to finish it by the end of the year. I wrote, I think it was about 300 words. I'm up to 45,000 and a half, something like that. But I did write stuff and it was a lot of fun, and I hope to do some more tonight or possibly tomorrow. Hey guys, it's been a while. I've just had 2 pretty crazy writing sessions. One was last night and then one was on Thursday. I wrote 1,000+ words each time, which is just absolutely crazy. The first time I wrote just over 1,000, and then last night I did 1,300, which is pretty wild for me. I actually finished chapters as I was writing them. Hello. Come here. Hey, what I wrote last night, it was so cool but so unexpected, because I made 2 characters slightly more devious. I'm not sure if they're evil yet. I think one is, I mean, evil's a pretty strong word, but I think one is going to be an antagonist. One I think is just being a bit silly, but in like a scary way, and they scared Claire.
Excuse me, Mom.
Yeah, baby.
Where's snakes and ladders?
I think it's in the cover, sweetie. I was actually feeling a bit scared myself when I was laying in bed afterwards, and it doesn't take much to scare me, but it was still fun. I should hit the 50k words either tonight or over the next couple of days. We're creeping ever so closer to the end, which is so exciting. I've reached the 50k. This chapter that I was writing that I reached the 50k in, I did have to redo the start. It was very similar to another scene or another chapter that I'd just written. I did not write for a couple of days while that was turning over in my head, and then
I suddenly got the first line of the chapter. Having a great time. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel again. Do you like my shirt? I am doing an overhaul of clothes. I've got a high-waisted skirt on and then a crop top. That's Macy, by the way, cooing in the back there. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Probably a reading one, but soon there will be a writing one. If you don't know what to comment, but you would like to comment something, then please comment some kind of yellow or flower emoji for my pretty shirt. Thank you guys. Bye!